And welcome to another session of Hive. Now, for executing the Hive queries, we have basically went into the Hive shell, and this is where we are executing the Hive queries. Now, if you're not in this Hive shell, you can still execute this queries. For example, I'm right here at the edge node. So if I want to execute something and a Hive, I can basically say Hive hyphen e, and then I can basically put the commands here. So let me say I want to select some data from this database, and I can execute this. It will invoke the Hive shell, it will provide the results, and it will display it on your screen. Right, I think there's no data on stage. Let me check if there's any data on stage 1. Yep, you see the data here. So this is how you can query the data from the command from the edge node here without even invoking the Hive shell. Now extending this, you can also execute the Hive queries from a file. So what you can do is you can take all the Hive queries that you want to execute and you put them in a Hive in a file which the extension .hqa can base, and then you can execute this file. So when you execute this file, all the queries that are present in that file will be executed one after the. So what you see here, I have a few queries or a few commands. So basically, if the first is to create a database demo one, then we use this the demo database, and then we create this tables. Let me call it as demo2. We create the table on demo2, and then we describe the table and we load the data into this table, right? And then we do a select star. Now I can execute this one by one on a Hive shell, or what I can do is I can put all of them in a single file and execute them. So I'll do the later because we have anyway executed one by one. So I'll go to this place here. Let me create a file. Let me call it as let's say file test file script. It has to be an extension of HQL. I will add all these details here. Now this file has the details, all the commands that we want to execute. Now to execute this file, I have to say hive-f, and then I have to give the file name. So when I execute this, when I query this, it will execute each one of it one by one. So the first it will execute this create database command, right? It has executed. So if you go back and check, I'm not sure if you can go back here. We got quite a lot of data here. Yeah, will not, you don't have this, but basically what is happening is it has created all this commands. So we have this database created, we have this table created, and then there will be describe formatted. We loaded this data here, and we queried this. You can see the query select star query data that has been displayed. So you can verify this database. So let me go to Hive and let's say show databases. So you have the demo2 created here. So if I use the demo2 and if I see the table, you can see the customer table created here, right? So this is a very useful way of executing all the queries in one. So generally what happens is in production where you have to execute all these queries, if you we will create a shell script something like this. We put all those details here, and you can basically call this script, and you can run the script, you can schedule the script. So when the time is up for the commands to run, it will execute on its own one by one, and it will give you the required results. Now the one thing that you have to remember here is suppose by the commands that we have given, let's say at second command or we have like 10 commands. Let's take for example, if second command is failed, then it will stop right there. It will execute the first successfully, it will stop at the second, and remaining commands will not get executed, right? So this is a simple way of how you can execute these commands from a file. And I hope this was clear, and I'll see you guys in my next